Hi, this is Jess. Welcome back to Deercraft. Okay, so today we are doing some paper mache. I have decided to make a piggy bank, and this is a photo of like the silhouette that I'm kind of going for. And here are kind of my materials. So first I'll go into the idea or the inspiration of why I wanted to make this. I did have the idea of making my girls a piggy bank, and it kind of instantly just flowed into like a folk and primitive looking piggy bank, not like your bubblegum pink round pig. I definitely wanted to be more of like a sculpture look or a wood look, and then it happens to be a piggy bank as well. And then a second element of this is that I always enter something into our creative arts fair every year for our county fair. So there's like a creative arts category to the fair where local citizens enter all different artwork and collections and things they've made or baked or canned every March. And you win ribbons and money, like $3. And it's just really fun to see. And so when you go to the county fair, you walk into the creative arts building and you see all these things that you've made and your friends have made and other people you don't know and what they've made. And it's just really beautiful and fun and wholesome. And I love a small community-like feel because I kind of live in a bigger town. So yeah, I was like, oh, I'll enter this into the fair because I saw that there is a paper mache category. So I had to get moving because there's a deadline when the fair's coming. We have our county fair in March because, again, I live in Florida and it's too hot in the summer. So ours is in March. Anyway, so I've obviously done paper mache before, but I kind of wanted to like have a better understanding. And so I did, of course, some like YouTube research, and I found the ultimate paper mache. And she is amazing. I really recommend you watch some of her videos if you're interested in paper mache. And it just gave me some really good like highlights of what I should focus on when I'm making this. And at first I was thinking about using a balloon, but that wouldn't give me the shape I wanted. And I saw this oatmeal canister that my kids were playing with because I just had saved it after we ate all the oatmeal. And I was like, oh, that's the perfect length that I need and shape that I want for my pig. Again, I wanted a very like folk, primitive shaped pig. Anyway, I picked up some great tips. And one of them was like making a template that you then build off of with your tinfoil. And I have used tinfoil before when I've paper mache'd and remembered how easy it was to sculpt and make the shape. So I wasn't too worried about that, but I was kind of worried how to like put it all together. And as you've probably seen from my videos, I'm more of like, I just go for it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just like do it and you'll figure it out. And that's kind of what I did. So this is me drawing a template of the pig's face. And I'm using like, you'll see tinfoil and tape and a hot glue gun. You saw me make the feet. And so all these elements are coming together so that I can like start creating the shape of the pig that I wanted. I really just did this on a Saturday afternoon. I like did the whole shape one day, paper mache'd it one day, and then one day I just painted it. So it did take a couple days, but I took my time and I really enjoyed the process. And I'm already thinking of other things that I want to paper mache. Okay, so there's kind of like the silhouette. And so then when you're sculpting the tinfoil around the face, you're like kind of following that template. And this is me forming the tinfoil for my cute little pig's butt. Because I want it to be a little flat, but not too flat like the oatmeal canister. Going back to like why I wanted to do this, I think piggy banks are so cute. And my daughters are starting to get money, you know, for birthdays or just little things. And they do have like cute little wallets, but I also think it's cute just to collect coins as you find them and put them in a piggy bank. I will say my whole family was so like loved how this turned out that I think it may be a family piggy bank and like live in our house versus just in their room, because we all think he's so cute. I've kind of named him Babe after Babe from the movie Babe. So this is me just like forming the overall like outline of the pig. I'm kind of creating like more fat around its thighs. So it's, again, not that just like straight cylinder meeting the tinfoil. Okay, so here you see like I packed tinfoil around my template, used a lot of tape to like hold it there, mold it out. The good thing about tinfoil is you can like squeeze it and push it, and it really will mold. And then I did use a piece of that flat cardboard from a cereal box as the flat part of its nose, just to keep it really, really flat versus just like the tinfoil. And then here you see the ears. Again, I didn't want anything to be too perfect. What I love about folk art is that it's not supposed to be perfect. It's just supposed to give you that general impression of what that thing is. And it's supposed to look handmade. It's not supposed to look professional. And that isn't me. I'm not professional. I'm not an artist. But I appreciate those forms. And so that's why I really lean into that. And I just love the character of folk art. So I purposely put his ears like not even. They're not exactly the same. I did put some tinfoil on the back of my canister, just so that, again, it's not like you can identify that shape of the oatmeal canister. Okay, so then getting to paper mache, I used just a simple flour and water combination. Again, I watched the Ultimate Paper Mache YouTube, and she goes through all her different paper mache glue recipes, and I thought this would be the best one for this application. And I really just started with flour and really warm water and whisked until it just got that right, like, kind of watery glue texture. And then I was really mindful of like how I put my strips of newspaper. So I am using newspaper, and I just kind of pre-ripped them all so I could just like keep moving, to like put it flat on the glue and like bring it up and skim it off with my finger. So almost the top of it was dry and only the bottom was wet. And it just didn't get too messy. Oh, there's the little tail. I don't think I filmed me making the tail, but it's out of tinfoil and then just wrapped in paper mache. So this is like one layer. Some spaces do have 2 layers of paper mache, and I would go over it and try to wipe off some extra glue if I felt like it was breaking up too bad. And I put him on this little grate, and I put him right near my air conditioning vent from the ceiling, where the air conditioning would blow on him all night, so he would dry pretty quickly, because I think that is a tip, is that you want your paper mache to dry quickly. And he was like nice and hard in the morning. I was like so happy he dried really well. Very firm. Like I knew like, oh, okay, this will work for making my cute little piggy bank, because I was just really worried about like how the shape would hold. Okay, so next was painting. I'm starting to like mix some colors, and I was debating back and forth of what color I wanted to paint my pig. So actually my mom grew up raising pigs. She grew up on a farm raising pigs. And of course I asked her like what type of pigs they grew up raising. And she's like, just like your standard pink ones. But then there was a couple other like the belted ones. And so I was debating if I wanted to do like a pink pig, but not like too pink. Again, more of that folky. So like mixing white and red and then some brown to give it like a warm pink feel. Or I was debating doing like a belted, like black, a stripe of white, another black. My sister called it an Oreo pig. and then I was also debating doing like a really rooty red brown pig, because I've seen like cute pictures of piglets and they have spots on them. So those were kind of the 3 ideas. And I decided just first to try the pink, and I only painted one section. I should have started on the belly. You're going to see I started on the butt, but that's okay. So yeah, this is me mixing the colors that I want to use. I'm just using an acrylic paint, and just trying to get, again, like the right pink. I didn't want it, again, not bubblegum, and just I wanted it to look really, really nice together, so that it would just look really cute. Okay, so now I'm showing you kind of like in really good light what it looked like, and I was just not happy with it. It almost had a purple undertone, so I'm like, all right, we're going with the brown pig. I will say the lighting doesn't get it right. It looks more brown here, but it actually it's more red in person. Again, like a really deep brick brown red is what it turns out to be. And I was smarter and started painting the belly just to make sure I got the color right. So I was mixing, I think 3 browns total, like a really, really dark brown, and then 2 like siennas and like a golden brown. And this is my cute little brown pig all painted. I think this is the first coat because you can still see some of the newspaper underneath. And I was just really happy with the color. Again, it's now reading like more folk art, more primitive looking. And so I did a second coat of the brown and then started adding the spots. I just thought it would be really cute. You don't see a lot of pigs that are brown with little spots. It's a very particular breed. And just started painting spots. And honestly, I think random is really hard for starting to do something because you're always thinking, where should you put the next one? And so honestly, I started putting black spots where there were like little paper mache mistakes, where the paper is lifting, or maybe I forgot to like paint that section, and that kind of helped with my randomness. And I didn't just paint with like big brush strokes. I did more of a stippling effect to get those rough edges, like they're little hairy guys. And then I did make sure to add a black hole like right where I knew I wanted to cut for the slit of the piggy bank, just so then I could like paint it all black and it kind of disappeared, so you didn't even know if it was a piggy bank. I will say probably should have cut the hole before I painted, but that's okay. I think I worked it all out. I was able to kind of make it look nicer when I painted all the layers black. I have not added a stopper yet. I think a cork is too small for the belly, so I'm kind of on the lookout for a good stopper for the bottom, because I do want to add that so we could access the money. And this is him by our fireplace. This is Babe. And I think he turned out really cute. Again, I think he's going to live with us for a while, and we're all going to enjoy him. Hope you like it. Thanks.